Welcome back. It was an occasion that promoted a message of peace and love, and the lesson was not lost on former President Olusegun Obasanjo and President Goodluck Jonathan as they joined others at the National Christian Center. The occasion was the wedding ceremony of a relative of President Jonathan's in Abuja, which was attended by former President Olusegun Obasanjo and serving and past state governors. Delivering his message at the event, Primate of the Anglican Church, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, urged parents to caution their children as a way of checking societal ills as the nation heads towards the 2015 general elections.
A good number of the children outside there are nuisance, public nuisance, because they have not been properly schooled in the home. No teacher, no professor is as successful as the mother or as the father in teaching the child. Till today, I still remember what my father told me. I still remember some statements made by my mother either in times of stress or in times of joy. And from the situation, we want the children, being the teacher and the pastor of the home, in such a way that the products of our homes will be assets to society and not nuisance and liabilities.
The relationship between the Ogun State government and the State Police Command has been described as cordial and will ensure improved security of lives and property in the state. The state governor, Senator Ibikule Amosun, says the Ogun State Police Command is doing its best to rid the state of criminals. He was speaking at the end-of-year party of the State Police Command in Abeokuta, the capital. The Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ikemefuna Okoye, lauded the Amosun administration for helping the police effectively discharge their duties.
That Ogun State is now a safe haven for residents and visitors alike, including investors, is no longer news. Thanks to the activities of various security operatives across the state, including the Nigeria Police. After successful outings in the last 3 years, the command celebrates in some relaxed manner to usher in 2015. Plenty support coming from the state government, the Commissioner of Police, Ikemefuna Okoye, extends the command's appreciation to Governor Ibikule Amosun.
So I am using this opportunity to thank the governor of the state, the entire state government officials for their support, for their understanding, for their cooperation, for their collaboration with the police to make us police of today.
The positive feedback from members of the community is re-echoed here by Mrs. Adeshola Adebutu of the Police Community Relations Agency, who praised that the peace and security in the state lasts throughout the election period.
Because of the election that is coming, we've been mandated to hold some seminars to sensitize our people to know that when elections are here, you're not supposed to be violent. Win or lose, you're supposed to behave like a gentleman or a lady and take things as it comes.
Governor Ibikule Amosun praises the performance of the command with a pledge not to relent in efforts made towards encouraging security agencies in the state. Platforms like this one are welcome to allow these committed officers and men catch their breath and brace up for the challenges ahead.
Residents and motorists who use the roads in the government reservation areas in Benin City, the Edo State capital, are calling on the state government to make the roads motorable. While some of them complain of low patronage of their businesses, others say the deplorable state of the roads causes severe damages to their vehicles. Meanwhile, all efforts the State Ministry of Works, all efforts for them to respond were unsuccessful, as the commissioner in charge was said to not be available.
The government's reservation area, by its very name, should be a place where everything works, going by the caliber of people living there. But that is not the case in Benin City, the Edo State capital, where the GRA is not at its aesthetic best. The focus here is the state of roads which motorists and residents living around the area describe as far from being good.
You don't expect people to be driving in GRA. If you're going to start repairing things, then it begins from home. GRA is a government reserve area. And if the government reserve area does not have good roads, where do you expect to have good roads?
Throughout 2014, we suffered on this road. So this is not supposed to be the road that we're supposed to stay in GRA.
It's not only the motorists that are in anguish as a result of the bad roads. These business owners are not insulated from the effects either.
The road is in a bad situation. It's slowing down my business, slowing down my work. Some of my customers are always complaining that they can't come here because of the bad road. And this is the only road that is a gateway to GRA. Everybody, almost all the vehicles, all the pedestrians, everybody passes. So it's not motorable. I want the government to do something about it.
Well, the road, like you can see, is deplorable. It's affecting our business. Most people, we have offices here, we have schools, but most people, because of the state of the road, they've changed, their children from the schools here. People who go to work, they find alternative routes. So that in turn will also, reduce our patronage here.
The belief among residents is that the GRA is a symbol of pride to any government and its people, and they want everyone to partake in putting the roads in order.
The road is very bad. The road is everywhere is pot road. The road, but they're not supposed to leave everything for the governor. Those ones are supposed to be local government chairman work. Supposed to do all those ones, but the road has to bad. Both the Ihama and Boundary Road. This all of them are too rough.
For now, the rains are gone, and residents here believe if government is indeed desirous of fixing the roads, the time to do so is now.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshewa Josh. One of the alternative investment products in the Nigerian capital market is the collective investment scheme. And fund managers explain that most products packaged under this plan performed excellently last year. They are advising domestic investors who wish to diversify their portfolio from equities to explore the opportunities that abound in the scheme.
The collective investment scheme, vis-a-vis the equity market, you discover that in terms of performance, they are much more better, because when you look at the returns per naira invested, you discover that there is a kind of high returns on collective investment scheme. Let me give you an example of Nigerian Energy Sector Fund. Nigerian Energy Sector Fund, specifically in 2013 March, it paid a dividend, a coupon of 32 naira. Whereas in 2014, at the year end, it paid 92 naira. That means there was an increase from 32 to 92, which is about 198% returns. And when you look at it vis-a-vis the market price, which was 552.2, when you look at it, you discover that it has a dividend yield of above 16%. That's the market, and then when you look at the returns of the market, actually the market return a negative of 16.32.
In the meantime, there was no respite for Nigerian equities as the bears held sway throughout the first trading week of the year. The all-share index shed 13.05% to end the week at 30,143.02. Market capitalization also depreciated by 13.03% to 9.98 trillion naira. Percentage-wise, Guinness, Dangote Cement and Access Bank were the top three losers for the week. On the other hand, investors favor the shares of RT Briscoe, Red Star Express and Presco. At the end of the week, total value of equities traded came in at 23.37 billion naira, staked on 2.01 billion shares and exchanged in 20,902 deals. Also, crude oil prices ended the week below $50 per barrel, with key producers showing no signs of cutting output in the face of a global supply glut. Brent crude futures shed $2.06 to $48.90 per barrel. The contract lost almost 11% this week. Now, U.S. crude futures for February delivery settled 43 cents lower at $48.36 a barrel, posting its seventh straight weekly loss. And finally, tonight, unemployment rate in the United States fell to 5.6% from 5.8% as the economy added 252,000 jobs in December. According to the U.S. Labor Department, figures for the number of jobs created in October and November were both revised upwards, and the jobless rate is now at its lowest since June 2008. However, concerns of a weak wage growth and low inflation are likely to give the Federal Reserve pause for thought over raising interest rates. The increase in jobs was higher than expected, with the strongest growth in professional and business services, construction, healthcare, and food services. However, there was little improvement in December for part-time workers wishing to work more hours. The average hourly earning fell by 5 cents after rising 6 cents in November. The fall in the jobless rate was largely due to a drop in the number of people seeking work. In the whole of 2014, job creation averaged 246,000 a month. And that's business news this hour. Thanks a lot for watching. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Poland shocked favorites United States to win the Hopman Cup for the first time. That's in sports news. Please stay with us.